Young Retro, aka Joshua Porter, aka Retro P. And it is time for that Bible study where we study the Bible. Y'all know it's Wednesday. It's 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't even got the watch on. I just know. And that means we gonna go over that Proverbs because the Proverbs is the book we're in. And Proverbs is the book of what? It's the book of wisdom. And if y'all watched last week, y'all know we covered Proverbs chapter 22, verses 1 through 16. Now you would think that means we're gonna pick up with 17, but we're actually gonna do something a little different. We're gonna pick up from Proverbs chapter 22, verses 22 through 29. And I'm gonna explain this to you. Verses 17 through 21 is God explaining to us what we're gonna be talking about in verses 22 through 29. The next couple chapters is known as the 30 sayings. They're like basically 30 wise sayings to live by. Not necessarily rules. They're sayings that if you apply these to your life, you're basically living in truth is what God says in these verses here. Like the verse here literally says, have I not written for you 30 sayings of counsel and knowledge to make sure you know what is right and true? So these are right and true, these 30 sayings. So we're gonna go ahead and start with these 30 sayings. And we're not gonna get through all 30 today, but we're gonna do verses 22 through 29. But before we do that, y'all know we have to pray. So go ahead and bow them heads and close them eyes. God, thank you for allowing us to have another opportunity to learn more about you, Lord, and to hear more about your word and to apply it to our everyday lives, Lord. Please allow us to just really hear what these 30 sayings are saying, Lord, for it to just really seep in, for us to just go out and spread your love, Lord, and just be a good vessel and good example to everybody else in this world, and just bring more people to your kingdom, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. So let's go ahead and get started. You know, just for reference, I'll read 17 through 21 real quick. So it's words of the wise. Verse 17. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it will be pleasant if you keep them within you. If all of them are ready on your lips, that your trust may be in the Lord, I have made them known to you today. Have I not written for you 30 sayings of counsel and knowledge to make you know what is right and true, that you may give a true answer to those who sent you? So that's right there. That's what we're gonna be talking about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with verse 22 and 23. 22. Do not rob the poor because he is poor, or crush the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will plead their cause and rob of life those who rob them. Hey, that's pretty self-explanatory right there. Look, see, God saying He's not one to play with. Do not go out there being a bully. Don't be going out there picking on people just because you have it better than them. You know, in God's eyes, we're all the same. It doesn't matter if you are doing the worst thing in the world or if you're praying to God every single day. God loves us all. He doesn't want you going out there, you know, thinking that you're high and mighty over somebody. You're not supposed to be holding stuff over other people's heads. You know, so if you're better off than somebody, the thing you should be doing is helping them, not rubbing it in their face. Don't be mocking them. And when it says do not rob the poor, like, especially then, like, if we're taking this in a literal sense, don't be taking stuff from people that have less than you. You're supposed to be giving stuff to them. Because what does it say? If you rob the poor, God's gonna rob of life. What does that mean? God will take you out if you're gonna keep playing games, basically. So don't play games. Make sure y'all are out here helping people, not rubbing in their faces, not robbing the poor, because it's just not a good look. You already got it, so go ahead and share with people. That's verses 22 through 23. Now let's go ahead to verse 24 and 25. Make no friendship with a man given to anger, nor go with a wrathful man, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. So these are some good sayings, man. I'm telling y'all, if y'all live y'all's lives by these sayings, your life is not, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, but you're definitely gonna have an advantage in life. When you have circumstances that come up, because there's still gonna be stuff that comes up, you'll know how to operate better. So don't read these thinking that you're just gonna coast through life easy, no problems. This is just helping you with the problems. It's like if you need to cut down a tree and you don't have an axe, now all of a sudden you have an axe. It's like having the axe to cut down the tree. Some people are gonna have to use their hands, but you have the axe. These verses right here are the axe to cut down that tree that's in your way, the roadblock. So verse 24 and 25, what they're talking about is don't make friends with somebody who's bitter. Because what's gonna happen is gonna rub off on you. You're gonna start being bitter. You're gonna start being spiteful and wrathful because you're gonna learn his ways. That's why they say, you know, watch the company you keep. Because if you're hanging around a bunch of people, like let's say you're in school, you're a straight A student, you start hanging around with the kids who aren't paying attention in class, getting all Fs, you may be strong enough to stand by on your own, but most of the time you're gonna get influenced. You're gonna start seeing that rub off on you. So eventually that A is gonna drop to a B and that B is gonna drop to a C, and one day you might be like them. So you gotta watch the company you keep. You gotta be around people who are gonna bring you up and not tear you down. If you're hanging around somebody negative all the time, you're gonna start seeing stuff negative just like them. You gotta really watch who you're hanging around, who you give your time to, because your time's important, it matters. You gotta make sure you're using your time to the best of your ability, and hanging around somebody who's wrathful is not gonna work. It tells you right here that you'll learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. You get into all certain kind of situations being angry, being spiteful, being bitter. Because if you're bitter, you're more likely to react in a negative way and not really think things through. Like, if you're bitter and somebody pushes you in the hallway, more than likely you're gonna get in a fight. But if you're, relaxed, you're being wise, somebody pushes you in the hallway, you may know, okay, let me not do that, because then I'm gonna get in trouble, and then it's gonna mess up such and such. So you gotta really use that wisdom, watch who you're hanging around, and make sure that you're hanging around people that elevate you. And that doesn't mean that if you have a friend that is struggling that you can't hang around with them anymore. What you're supposed to do in that situation is, you're the friend that they're hanging around to better themselves. So you're supposed to help them out. You see? See how it works? You gotta make sure that the relationship is mutually beneficial, which means that you're getting something from them and they're getting something from you. Even though that friend's making an F, there's probably something they're teaching you how to do correctly in life too that you're not that good at. So you just gotta make sure that you take the good things and then just don't really hang around people that are blatantly negative. So that was verse 24 and 25. Let's go on to verse 26 and 27. 26, be not one of those who give pledges, who put up security for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should your bed be taken from under you? What does this mean? Now, my dad would tell you, man, he used to get on me for this all the time. He would give me lunch money and I would go ahead and give it away to other people, trying to help other people out and all that stuff. What this is saying is, you can't try to help other people out if you can't help yourself. You gotta help yourself first. You gotta make sure you're good first. Just like what they say in the airplane, if the plane was to be going down or something and the oxygen masks come out, they tell you to put on your oxygen mask first, that way you can help other people. Because what good are you if you're knocked out and now you can't help somebody else because you didn't put on your oxygen mask first? You gotta look at these things. It's not being selfish. You gotta know what's being selfish and what's being wise. Like, if I have $100 and I know me and Nia need to eat tonight, and this $100 is gonna get us food, and then I'm walking to the store and I see a homeless man who's asking for money, I'm not gonna give him my $100 because I need to take care of my situation first, because now me and Nia are gonna be starving, and that homeless man, of course, is gonna get a meal, and that's good, but at what cost? You didn't take care of yourself, so now you're in a bad situation, you can't help other people out. Like, let's say in school, like, you did the homework assignment, you did it. Now your friend didn't do the homework assignment. They're asking you, can they see your homework? Now here's the situation. Of course you can give them the homework. I guess in some people's mind that's the right thing to do. You want to help out a friend. You don't want to be the friend that's like not helping their friend succeed. But that friend should have done their homework. Now if you give them your homework and you get caught, now you're in trouble. You don't even got the homework anymore. You're in trouble. They got what they needed. You didn't get what you needed. So you got to make sure that you take care of yourself before you take care of other people, but not in a selfish way. Of course, if I had $200 and I only needed $100 to eat, and I walk by that homeless man, I don't give him anything, that's kind of messed up if I know that I can give him something. But if I'm down to my last, you gotta take care of yourself first, and then you can take care of others. There's a difference. Make sure y'all understand that difference, because I don't want y'all thinking that it's okay to be selfish, but you do have to take care of yourself. It's different. You see the difference? Make sure y'all really instill that, because it's important. So what are the 3 sayings we've learned so far? We learned to not rob the poor. What's that mean again? Do not sit there and take from people who have less, or try to hold stuff over their heads. Don't try to rub it in that you're doing better than them, because God will take care of you if that happens. What's the other one? Don't hang around bitter people. Make sure y'all hang around the right crowd, people that are elevating you, people that are adding positivity to your life. It's draining to be around negative people all the time. You can literally feel how you're not having fun anymore and how you're starting to become like them. So make sure you guys are hanging around the right crowd. And then third, we learned to make sure you take care of yourself first. Don't be out here giving away your stuff, that way other people can have it. Don't give away your bed to somebody and now you gotta sleep on the floor. You see what I'm saying? The way to really help them is help them get a bed. You don't have to give away your bed, help them get a bed. You see? That's what you gotta do, and now both of y'all are good. So we're gonna go over verse 28, and then after that we're gonna do 29. So let's do 28 first. 28, do not move the ancient landmark that your fathers have set. What does this mean? So my dad, let's say my dad's dad was here first, you know, he established all that good stuff. Then my dad was here and then he built more stuff. And then it's my turn and I decide I don't want to do that. I'm going to go somewhere else and do something. You know, sometimes people feel like that's a good thing to do, but let's not like just completely abandon what we've built. You know what I'm saying? So like we've built a really good community here in North Carolina. Let's continue to watch it grow and prosper. Like this is where our history is. This is where we've built it up. This is where the Porter name has been. So let's continue to build it and do even better things for our community, helping out as many people as we can. That's why you don't see churches just up and moving to different locations. You know how crazy it would be right now if Pastor Donna and Pastor Billy were like, all of a sudden, let's move our church to Florida. Like, God didn't tell them to go to Florida. They're here in North Carolina for a reason. They're here to build up North Carolina, build up this community. They can open a different church in Florida and have somebody else run it, but they're not just gonna pick up Household of Faith and abandon North Carolina. This is where God has planted them. That's why there's multiple churches everywhere, because God is smart. He knows where people are needed and where community is needed. That's why there's multiple churches. There's not just one church in one place. So you gotta make sure you're checking with God, checking your heart, being wise, and staying where you're supposed to stay and build up your community. And then last but not least, verse 29. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. What does this mean? If you're the best of the best at what you do, you're gonna do it for the highest quality of people, the highest quality of work. You're not gonna go and lower your standards or lower your prices to do it for somebody who can't reach it. So it's like what they say, don't ever give those family discounts, don't ever change your price for anybody. If I'm running a business and my business costs $500 to do it, I'm not gonna go change my price because somebody can't afford the $500. The $500 is the price that I set. I wanna go to the people who can afford the $500 because I know that's the level of work that I'm bringing. So if I'm the best, like at cutting grass in my neighborhood, and there's somebody down the street doing it for $10, and I'm doing it for 30, but my work's way better. You know, if I cut your grass, it's gonna be great. It's gonna look amazing. Everybody's gonna be complimenting it. You know, there's gonna be some neighbors that are gonna be like, hey man, like, can we do like 20? But that's the thing, you can't lower yourself for that. Like, you can't go out there and make everybody happy. So you might as well let the $10 guy take care of that yard. Just count that as a loss. But now go over to the other side of the neighborhood where the people got the money and they're willing to pay it because they know the quality. They're gonna pay the $30. They might even throw in a bonus. They might throw in a tip. You might get $50 when your price is only $30. So when you know you're the best at something, do not settle. Make sure you guys go hard at it, use your wisdom. Of course, again, don't be selfish with it. Don't become arrogant. Make sure that you're remaining humble, you're keeping God first, and God will guide you to do those great things. And he'll bring people that can afford your amazing quality of service. So that is the Bible study, y'all. We went through verses 22 through 29, and we covered 17 through 21 just so you guys understood what we'd be talking about. So let's just recap real quick. 17 through 21 was God telling us what we will be going over. And we know that God gave us here is the 30 sayings of counsel and knowledge, and to make you know what is right and true. So all these things I told you are right and true. They're not lies. God does not lie. So everything I told you, you guys know is right and true. So if you know it's right and true, why not apply it to your life? That way you can do great things. So we only went through a couple of them today. We're gonna pick up with the other ones next week, but let's go ahead and see them again. The first one, you guys know, do not rob the poor, do not take something from somebody, that way you can be better off and now they're in a worse situation. God will not honor that. It says God will rob of light, and we all know what that means, so make sure y'all doing the right thing there. And then the second one we talked about is do not hang around bitter people, don't hang around wrathful people, because it will rub off on you and that's how you'll start hanging out too. That's how you'll start impacting people negatively around you. It's like a chain reaction. You hang around somebody negative, now you're feeling negative, and then you go hang around somebody else and now they're feeling negative. So make sure you guys are hanging around good people. And that leads us to the third one. Make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves first. You can't take care of somebody else if you're not good. If you don't take care of your family, then you can't take care of other people. That's why you gotta make sure that y'all are good first, that way you can give to other people. And then fourth, we have do not move the ancient landmark. Make sure you guys are settled where you're supposed to be. Make sure you're standing still, that way you can hear God and listen to what he's telling you. If he's telling you to stay here to build this community, that's what you're supposed to do. And then the fifth one we talked about is don't settle. If you are the highest quality of work in one thing, do not settle for the people that can't afford it. Make sure that you let them know that you wish you could do it for them and all this stuff, but you gotta go where you know your work will be appreciated and where you'll get compensated for the highest quality of work. So that's the things. Make sure you guys keep that tuned in. Make sure you guys keep on watching. Tune in next week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Bodily Studies. We'll still be doing Proverbs. And make sure you guys just apply this to your lives and go make people's day. Make sure you guys use these. That way you can have easier lives and be able to combat the stuff that comes up in it. And you can bless other people. And if you don't know God, He's not the Lord and Savior of your life, you can make that happen today. It's as easy as this. Romans 10:9 says, because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised Him from the dead, you will be saved. And once you do that, you're saved, you're in the family, you're in the kingdom, you're in the kingdom family. And make sure you guys find yourselves a Bible teaching ministry just like this one. And like I said, apply these to your life, and I promise you, things will be better. You'll be able to handle situations better. You'll be wiser. That's what this is all about. And then of course, if you have any questions, hit us up at youth@hofmnc.org. That's youth@hofmnc.org. And you guys have a good rest of your week. Bye.